Yeah. There you go. You're welcome. What? Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Good morning. Can you hear us at SMH?
Yeah, can you hear us?
Oh, yeah, I hear you just fine.
Yeah, Applegate's on his way. Count just cleared, so we're getting him in here.
Oh, I understood. Thank you. We'll just wait till we see him. Appreciate it.
All right, perfect. Yep. Time.
Think so. Or this clear. Wait, the drum. Stop. All right. All right. Got one in.
You're on time.
Thank you.
All right, you got Applegate hearings already.
Thank you.
Yep.
All right. Good morning, Mr. Applegate. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. My name's Kelly Kuklenski, and I'm a board member with the Oregon Board of Parole and Post-Prison Supervision. How are you doing today?
Doing all right.
Okay. Can I just ask you for the record if your name is Daniel Applegate?
Yeah, it is.
And is your state identification number 169-86628?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So I am the board member that's leading your hearing today, and I am just going to introduce you. You see two other faces probably next to mine who are also from the Oregon Board of Parole, and they are going to be participating in the hearing with us today. So I am going to introduce them real quick. So first we have the Vice Chair of the Board, Ronnie Cleaver.
Good morning, Mr. Applegate. Nice to see you today.
Good morning to you.
And then we have Board Member Kara Brooks.
Good morning, Mr. Applegate. Nice to see you.
Morning.
Okay. And can you see us okay and hear us okay?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Mr. Applegate, did you receive a packet of materials from us at least 14 days ago that contained your notice of rights?
Yeah.
Yep, that's exactly it. It's probably about 175 pages.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So we don't have anybody else present that's participating in the hearing today. We do have other people present that are just helping with our recording equipment because we do record all of our hearings. And so we do have someone helping to make sure that's running efficiently. And then there's always an option from anybody from the public to observe hearings. That's always as well. Do you have any questions about who's here today?
No.
Okay. So Mr. Applegate, this is the time that's set for your future disposition hearing, which is a hearing to decide whether to deny your re-release onto post-prison supervision or to set a new release date for you. Do you understand what that means?
Yeah.
You do?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So I am going to establish the exhibits for the record, which is the materials that we're considering, as well as kind of tell you what to expect during the hearing today. Okay, so I'll give you kind of a roadmap of what to expect. All right.
All right.
So as far as exhibits are concerned, I would like to establish those for the record. We have the materials that were submitted by the parole board. Those are the materials in your hearings packet that you held up, that 175-page packet. We also did receive 2 pages from you that included pages 9 and 10 of the May 30th, 2024 hearings packet, along with a handwritten note from you. So it's a total of 2 pages in length. So those are all the documents in addition to whatever we talk about today that will be considered when we make a decision, a release decision for you. Okay.
All right.
Was there any other materials that you had submitted or that you wanted to submit for our consideration today?
Any what I want to submit?
Like materials, paperwork that you had wanted to submit?
No, just a verbal disposition, I like to say, and that's about it.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I will say that no confidential documents have been received or reviewed. So what you held up in your packet, that is the same exact materials that we have. We don't have any materials that we're otherwise considering. Okay. So with that being said, the previously mentioned exhibits are accepted into the record. So I wanted to talk to you just kind of about just general ground rules that we like to go over with people when we're meeting with them. You know, we are appearing via video. Sometimes it can be really easy to talk over one another. It can be easy to interrupt each other, that sort of thing. So we'll just try to do the best we can to give each other turns on speaking. Of course, you know, I will do my very best not to interrupt you. So I always ask the same of you as well. And then, of course, being mutually respectful of one another through the course of the hearing. Okay. And then if ever, you know, we're veering off course at all, I might try to kind of redirect us to get us back on course. All right.
Right.
So before we get into the actual hearing, I'm going to tell you kind of the topics that we're going to discuss. We're going to talk a little bit about kind of your overall health, your mental health, your physical health, just how you're feeling today. Then we're going to talk a little bit about the violation report that brought you back into custody, the actual violations. We're going to talk about how things have been going since you've been back in custody, what kind of you're up to. We may have some general questions as well that kind of are you know, throughout these different topics. And then we will talk to you about what your plan would be if you got released from prison, like what your parole plan would be. Okay, so those are kind of the topics that we plan to cover. Do you have any questions before we start?
No, I just ready to proceed.
I'm sorry, could you say that one more time?
No, I don't have any questions. I'm just ready to proceed.
Okay, perfect. So since I am the board member that's leading the hearing today, I will pick a topic and I will initially ask you all the questions that I have about that topic. And then I will check in with each of my fellow board members to see if they have questions about that topic as well. And then we'll just kind of move through the topics, okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Mr. Applegate, before we get started, is there anything that you want to say to the board, or would you rather us go into questioning first?
Yeah, I got something I want to say, and I meant to ask you earlier when you mentioned paperwork or anything. Do you know if the board received a letter that I wrote and some paperwork that I sent about I want to say about a month ago?
We received a handwritten note from you that was on a portion of the hearings officer report, and it was dated July 29th of 2024. Is that the one that you're talking about? It was on page 9 and 10 of the hearings officer's report summary, and it was just a handwritten note.
Yeah.
Is that what you're talking about?
No, I said something else since I've been here at OSP, so I guess I didn't, but I could just summarize it. And I don't have the well, it's here in what I was sent, and I can just summarize it for, so that's fine. I sent something out in September, maybe August, and I guess you didn't get it, but I'll just summarize it verbally. What else can I do? That's fine. I was just wondering, and I do got, if you're ready to take a statement from me, I do got some stuff I like to say.
Sure, you are open to make a statement to the board before we get into questioning. Go ahead.
I just like to say that I was if you just be patient with me for a minute, I'm trying to think of it all briefly. If I could summarize it, though, I want to say that I was already revoked by Amanda Miller of the Mead Building in Portland, Oregon, parole office, Department of Community Justice, the Mead Building, the probation and parole office in Portland, Oregon. Amanda Miller already revoked me in December 2022, and actually it's when I was locked up, and then in January she with credit time search she gave me a 120 with a parole revoke already. So I don't understand how could I be revoked again later on when I was locked up in May 2024 when I was already revoked by Amanda Miller. And that's you know, it should be done already. I shouldn't be sitting here as my understanding of the law and my research of it and everything. And also I'd like to say that I came down for a rape charge 15 years ago, and I don't remember whether or not I raped that girl, Jessica Ross, 15 years ago because I was so drunk that night. What I can say, what can be certified by the Multnomah County Sheriff's Office and Portland Police Bureau and just other places that I've been on vacation, Seattle Police, Las Vegas Police, police in Hawaii, Honolulu, police have supervised me, and mostly the Multnomah County Sheriff's Office, the Gresham Police Department, the Portland Police Bureau, and both in Troutdale and the East Metro, Multnomah County Sheriff's Office, and people that have been supervised me for 5 years now, in and out of jail at the Multnomah County Detention Center, can say that I have 9 sex partners since I've been out. I've never thought about raping any of them. I've been without sex offender treatment. The reason I didn't do it when I got out is because I just thought that this is just going to be a bunch of unnecessary treatment that I don't need. And they're saying that I pay for it. I don't have money to pay for it. And I heard that the treatment was going to be strange in a way that was uncomfortable to me. And, you know, and I recognize the need for treatment in general for some people, but I don't need it. I've never been, I mean, the cops have followed me around 24/7 under surveillance. They have, it's true, all day, every day. They've watched me have sex with people, men and women. There's never rape. There's nothing ever like that. And I've just been in and out of county, and I've been railroading on 5 years. And I understand that it's just the way the system is set up is just I've just been in and out of county jail for 5 years now on sanctions because I don't check in with my parole officer. All I do is I live with my mom out in the suburbs outside of Portland and Troutdale. I smoke weed, I drink, I listen to music, I play video games, and I watch movies, and I hang out with a girlfriend or two I have here and there, and that's all I do. I'm not looking at weirdo porn. I'm not being inappropriate with sex partners. I'm not doing any I'm not surpassing any boundaries sexually that I shouldn't be when it regards to respecting women. And I would just like to say that the cops will certify that. I mean, they've watched me every second. You can ask my mother. I know she's not here. My mother in that Applegate, they know it. I just have a horrible title since then. I mean, everybody I come in contact with knows about Jessica. Everybody knows I've been tested. They know I'm not a child molester. I'm not into pedophilia. I didn't know Jessica was 16. I was 20 years old. I'm not into kids. I'm not into rape. It doesn't turn me on. It turns me off sexually. And I'm just getting into this to say I don't have these sex offender tendencies that would say that this guy needs to be locked up and he needs to be incarcerated and he can't even be on the streets because he's gonna take some pussy. He's gonna rape a woman and I'm not a liability for that. And although I am willing to go, if the state of Oregon and the legal system, thank you, okay, wants me to do sex offender treatment with Jacqueline Jones from the parole board, I will do that when I get out. You can let me out today and I will go straight to sex offender treatment. I'll go to mental health treatment. I'll continue to take my meds. I've been placed on meds here on psychotropic medication, which is unneeded, albeit I've been on other medications, Zoloft, which is great for me, Lamictal. I've done the Suboxone program, and I'm getting treatment here, and I'm doing great. But I'm not a liability to anybody, and I feel like I'm being railroaded by the system. And to send somebody to prison for at least 13 months just because they're not checking in with their PO. Like, I mean, the law is the law. The law is not going nowhere for me, if I can just summarize this soon, because I'm repeating myself. But I'm trying to get to the gist of it. Just because I'm not checking in, I should be locked in a kennel like a dog and I'm in BHU at OSP, which means other than a small rec yard where there's a pull-up bar, like, push-ups and stuff, like exercise workout equipment, that I'm locked in a cell for 23 hours a day, and I'm locked down here. And this will probably be my whole entire stay here, depending on how long the board gives me. And it's unnecessary. I understand there's a need for me to check in with my PO. They need to know, hey man, what's up with you? But I honestly think there's so much information and bad information about sex offenders, because I'm not trying to putting a light on anything. Thank you. Sex offenders are bad people, but I think there's so much research on sex offenders that they figure, dude, if you don't, and it's just, well, any crime, not just sex offenses, thank you. They just figure you have to check in with us. We have to know what you're doing all day, every day. But it's just nobody here from the Multnomah County Sheriff's Office, thank you, Applegate, is here to say this dude doesn't want to take any more pussy. If ever I wanted to in the first place. I don't remember. Excuse my language. I'm just speaking brashly. Break someone. And there's no need for it. And I think of course you get the gist of what I'm saying. It's easy to comprehend. And I would just like to say that, and if I could just say that if I could get out today, I'm going to see Jacqueline Jones. I'll put the GPS bracelet back on my leg if that's what they want to do, and I'll go to sex offender treatment. I'll go to Cascadia, which is a mental health place, and I'll do every bit of sex offender treatment. The reason I didn't want to do sex offender treatment is because when I was in prison 10 years ago, somebody told me that when you do sex offender treatment, they make you watch child porn, and I don't want to watch child porn because that's disgusting to me. And that's why I didn't want to do sex offender treatment. And so, and I understand they got to know, dude, are you a freak? Are you into kids? There's a legit reason for it, but I don't want to watch that shit. I'll do I'll talk about Jessica. If they had technology into my brain to where they knew, if I could talk to Jessica personally and ask her questions, what did happen that night? Because I never even watched the video or the audio. I have this brief paperwork sitting here that says the gist of what she said, and I guess she said I raped her or something, but I don't remember. I know rape doesn't turn me on. I know I'm not a liability to be off the streets, and I would just like to say briefly, the reason I'm back, it's not that I just want to do drugs and I don't check in, and I have no regard for the system. It's I've really been trying. I put weed down. People have given me weed. I put weed up. If I can just summarize, I was at a place called TSP where they were going to do treatment. The cops talk to me all day. The cops don't like me, of the Multnomah County Sheriff's Office, and they are on a vindictive thing to have people berate me verbally and talk shit to me and disrespect me and talk stupid to me. And I finally asked these people, they got intercoms all over TSP. And I'll be done in a minute. Thank you for listening to me. And they're just talking shit to me. Applegate, you're a bitch, you're a punk, you're a rapist, you're a this, you're a that. It serves no purpose as, are you a rapist? Are you this? Are you that? Where are you going today? What's up with your mental health? What was that conversation with that guy? It's Applegate. You're this, you're that. They're disrespecting me and calling me names and fuck your mother and stuff like that. And I'm just quoting what they're saying and stuff like that. I'm a little energetic because I exercise a lot. I'm just spouting what was happening in a positive manner. And I would just like to say that I asked TSP staff finally, I said, why are the cops talking to me all day? And they said, you, sir, need to leave right now. Okay. Now, you see the way that I'm talking to is respectful, but my voice is kind of raised because I'm projecting how I feel, and I'm just direct. I'm Dutch, it's direct, that's how I talk. And they took it as I had an attitude and kicked me out of TSP, called the Portland Police Bureau and said, you need to get out of TSP right now, and you just need to go figure something out. I am not from Portland, Oregon. I got lost. I couldn't find the meat building. I went to contact my mom from a gas station to where I could call her and she could help me find the PO's office to where I could go find my PO and say, they kicked me out of TSP. I need somewhere else to stay. Because I contact my mom, they sent me to jail. Realized that was in the board of parole, that I wasn't rules, that I wasn't supposed to do that. But other than my mom telling me where it's at, because I'll be wandering around Portland all day and I got a GPS bracelet, it's gonna die by the time I figure it out. Maybe I could ask somebody on the streets in hindsight. I should have did that. Shouldn't have contacted my mom. But what I'm saying is this is nothing ass stuff. This isn't reason for this guy to be locked up because he contacted his mom, because she's gonna help him go check in with his PO, you know what I mean? There's the rules and like actuality. And if I could just summarize City Team very briefly. I was at City Team and they said we don't have enough beds. I stayed there one night and the next night I stayed there. They said we don't have enough beds for you to stay here, sir. So sorry, but there's nowhere you can go. I'm like, is there any other shelter? Like, no, there's nowhere. And so they told me to leave. And so all night I'm in Portland. There's some black guy pulled a gun on me. People are yelling stuff at me. People are angry at me. There's drug addicts down there. It's kind of dangerous down there. Portland is a high crime city. And I got scared and I left Portland, and my mom got a hold of me and she said, why don't you just go to Salem with me? And she's going house shopping all the time because she wants to find a new house. She wants to leave Troutdale, maybe live in Salem, maybe move to California. She wants to go somewhere else. So I'm hanging out with my mom, and I went to go to Denny's to eat breakfast. I said, I'll meet up with you later. I'm going to go buy a phone. I get an SSD check, a Social Security Disability. And this is, and I went, and I'm in Salem, and the cops said, you got a warrant from Portland because your GPS bracelet died, and you didn't register as a sex offender when you're out here. Well, the reason that you're supposed to register as a sex offender is when you leave Multnomah County, where you're from and where you're under supervision, and you're supposed to let the next county or state where you go know, hey, I'm living over here. This is my new address, and that's what's going on. I wasn't in Salem to go to a shelter, to go to one of my girlfriend's houses, to talk to anybody. Nothing. Other than hanging out with my mom, getting a bite to eat. We're going to eat breakfast. We're going to look at a few houses, and then I'm going back to see my PO. My bracelet died. I'm scared of people in Portland, and I'm slightly schizophrenic as well. And so when I get scared, I feel like I just got to run. And so thank you for listening to this whole speech. What I would like to say is I am not a risk. I'm not a liability. It would do no good, no woman, no man, a dog, a cat, anything in the world, excuse my funny way of saying, nobody in the world, never been accused of a dog and cat. Nobody in the world to say that this dude should be in prison, he's a rapist. Nobody. And this stuff with the wrist bracelet, to be honest with you, I think it's just unnecessary expectations of me, because the wrist bracelet doesn't have a long enough life battery. And when I ask, And because people don't like me because I have a rape charge, and rapists are losers and fuck them, but I can't help the way society looks at me from 15 years ago, what I was accused of. People don't want you at TSP. They flash lights in your face while you're trying to sleep. They talk shit to you. I think somebody might have raped me there. They got people getting in my face. They're sitting there just harassing me, asking me about what's up with the hose and what's up with this and that and stuff like that. They got other guys there in my face wanting to fight me, and I didn't like TSP. And I would have talked to my PO about it, and I would have went somewhere else. And maybe I was a little pressed, but I was respectful when I talked to these people. And why are cops disrespect me? On what therapeutic level does this serve to do me good? And I would just like to say I am a reformed rapist. If a rapist at all, I'm a reformed man. I don't have criminal tendencies. I'm willing to get drug treatment and not do meth, not do weed, and even put alcohol on a shelf. I've done it all while I was out there. I love smoking meth. I love smoking weed. I'm bipolar. I'm a crybaby emotionally. I smoke weed all day to feel better. I rap like that rapper Eminem, if you ever heard of him. Cool guy. Somebody wants to sign me when I get out named Jadakiss, wants to sign me to a record label, and I could be a multi-million-dollar rapper. Instead, I'm sitting here listening to a bunch of stupid fucking gangsters stupid fucking gangsters all day, listening to bullshit and being locked in here. And I'm 35 and I'm pushing the point to where I don't know what I'm going to do with my life, and I would just like to say that you guys have a absolutely, thank you, absolutely legit reason to want to know what's up with this dude, what are his tendencies, what is his liability, and why is he not checking in with his PO? And if we can't manage you out in the community, then you maybe need to wake up, sit in the cage, and realize, hey, dude, I need to do something. If you're a liability, I would say, if you're a liability, hey, buddy, I'm not out there doing drugs trying to fight nobody. I'm out there minding my own business. I'm listening to Tupac and watching travel videos and thinking where I want to hang out with my mom and hang out with my family and have. I hang out in Gresham. I don't hang out in the hood. I don't want to fight people. I don't want to do bad. This stuff that I would just thank you for listening to all that. And I would just like to say that the stuff that they mention in here is just this thing from 5 years ago at the dispensary where this lady robbed me. And she sold me 7 grams of marijuana in 2019. This was 5 years ago. Why are they bringing it up to now? Like I'm just the mad pot guy that punches people. That dude kept putting his hand in my mother's face. I shouldn't have put hands on him. Complete oversight. Willing to do anger management. Willing to be like, dude, you can't just be punching on people. Not an employee, a guy that was there that was being. It's on YouTube. If I call the camera dispensary, it's on YouTube. And maybe I need anger management, and maybe I need drug treatment, and I will do all the sex offender treatment in the world. And I ask respectively, if I'm supposed to watch child porn, can we get that shit out of here? Because I don't like that. I'm offended by the disgusting sickness of rapists and child molesters, and I don't like it. But I will do every treatment in the world. And I would just like to say that when I was just out, and when I was in Salem, if I could just summarize the last thing, and thank you, beautiful women, for listening to all beautiful work that you do for the system, and I agree with you. And want to understand and what's up with this dude. And I would just like to say the last thing in Salem is I was going to have sex with a hooker, and she stole my money. I called the police on her, and they said, you got a warrant in Portland. So that was my demise. That was my downfall. The reason I said that is just not to keep putting Seth out there, respectfully, no, just to say that I'm not in here for a crime. I'm not in here because I'm getting into trouble. Consensual sex with a grown woman. Police, now Salem PD knows who she is. Deputy Williams knows who she is. Hello, McDonald's, #1 employee. They know who I am. They know about McDonald's. They know I feel bad about Jessica Ross. They know I love Jessica Ross. I love Jessica. If I could give Jessica Ross some money and give her a hug and know that Jessica Ross is doing all right, because I love Jessica Ross. And Jessica Ross was a good friend of a good friend of mine named Kyle Mason that used to give me a place to stay when I was homeless. And he's cool. And he lived right there on 17701 East Burnside, and a good person. And I love Jessica. And it's hard for me to fathom how, in all respect, if you wrong is wrong. And locking me in a cage for 9 years plus 50. Well, when I could check in. I can maybe find it before. I can maybe find the parole office before people don't misunderstand me, and I find my way without a phone. I don't have a phone. I didn't have my credit card. I get SSD, but I didn't have my credit card. My mom had my credit card because I just got out of prison, and it was sent to her house from Coffee Creek. So I have no way to Google map where is the parole office. I'm just lost in Portland. And I should have just wandered around, but my mom's gonna drive it. And just to say that I'm not a liability, and I would have really just appreciated if I could maybe get somebody else besides Jacqueline Jones, or if me and her could start on a fresh sheet, because I have nothing against her, and she prayed for me, and I appreciate her. And what I've been doing since I've been here is I've been writing religious people, the Billy Graham Association, the Chuck Colson Association, and I want to get out and I want to rap because Jada Kiss from the Law, shout out Jada Kiss, probably not watching this, but I want to get a rap deal, and I want to meet a church woman, and I want to get married. And I want to hang out with my family because I've lost them for years and years, and that's what I want to do. And I just want to say that there's just been, I understand you're supposed to check me, but I'm not a risk. I keep repeating myself. I think that's just what I have to say. I'll give up drugs. I'll do drug alcohol treatment. I will stay in any homeless shelter. I'll go back to TSP. Even asked me when they see me later, because I left my laptop cord there. They said, do you want to come back? Because those staff that call the police on you, that was unnecessary. We don't have a problem. You can call TSP, and they said they see me come back. Oh, it's laptop cord. You can call them, and then they said you can come back to TSP. We don't think you're aggressive. We don't think you can't do the program here. Jackie could probably even say that. It's just I don't check in, and I'm sick and tired. And I'm not putting this on you women, because to be honest with you, you're an organ board throwing, you're in charge of my future, but I don't know what you're going to do. But I'm sick, and I got to just say, I'm sick and tired of being railroaded by the system. And the system has to make money off me, and they're not making money off me when I don't check in. And so I'm being locked in a cage for 15 years now for Jessica Ross.
Mr. Applegate.
They're not going to bend the law for me, but I will do everything that I'm supposed to do, and that's all I have to say. Thank you. And I'm sorry, I just want to finish what I was saying. And yes, ma'am, what's up?
I appreciate it. I appreciate everything that you had to say. I do want to give an opportunity for us to ask some specific questions. And I know you clarified this, but I just kind of want to make sure. It sounds like this is kind of your normal presentation. You kind of talk a little bit at an elevated, and you're indicating that is not you being disrespectful. That's just kind of the way you communicate. Is that how I'm understanding it?
Well, like confrontational, because my voice is kind of above a normal level, and I'm using my hands, and some people perceive me. A doctor told me this. I haven't even been told this by people, but a doctor told me this 15 years ago. When you talk like this and you kind of shake your hands, people might perceive you as not disrespectful. I said the wrong word, confrontational. And I just asked like, why are the police talking to me? This is unnecessary. Why are they doing it? And they kicked me out. And that's what it was.
Okay. Well, so I wanted to ask you, and I also appreciate you acknowledging kind of some of the language that you used. We do try to consider this, sort of like a courtroom proceeding. So, if at all possible, just kind of making sure that you monitor your language and the best that you can. We would absolutely appreciate that. But Mr. Applegate, so you mentioned, you said a lot of things that I want to talk to you about, a lot of important things that you have going on. So you said that you are currently housed at, did you say at BHS, which you said you are locked down for 23 hours a day. Is that correct?
Yeah, BHU, which is Behavioral Health Unit. It's right down the hall this way. It's just locked down in there. I got a radio, and I write music all day, and it's 23-1. What they're gonna do is they want to do treatment classes, and to where I'm sitting in a group with other inmates, and we talk about, like, I don't know, mental health treatment stuff. What's your deal? I shouldn't do this, I should do that. Maybe the therapeutic kind of stuff, anger control stuff like that. And I'm doing that, and I'm working with Shag Cunningham, and I've been working with him, and he says I'm doing great. And I want to go to treatment more than anybody else in the world. I just would like to say, and I'll do any treatment in the world for my, not just for my freedom, because I want to be a better person. And I would just like to say that that's the program they have here. Is little, you come out, you watch a movie, you talk to people for about an hour, they give you coffee, you get gassed up. I had a shot of coffee this morning, got me going.
So how often do you see Mr. Cunningham?
I see him once a week.
Okay, and is that, you said you're also doing classes as well, or is it right now you haven't started classes?
I haven't started classes, but I heard it's going to start this week. So it could be today. It could be tomorrow, Friday.
Okay.
I honestly don't think I need the classes, or that I need to be locked up to do these classes before I get out, because this is just, I know my deal. I'm good. I'm not a criminal. So what do I need to sit around in treatment class all day for? I'll do it because the state wants me to do it.
Okay.
But because Jackie Jones wants me to do it. But I would just like to say, I would just say one more thing. I would just like, then that's my case, is it says right here, Jacqueline Jones says I can call her Jackie. I like her. She's nice. God bless her. Good woman. She said that I want to give him a 90-day sanction. Somebody else came in and said, who doesn't work with me, doesn't know my whole case, said, send him back to prison. So my PO that was working with me said I should just do 90 days in the county jail. So this is not even her wish. I mean, somebody else convinced her that she should go and send him back. And I'm just saying it's unwarranted. It's unnecessary for somebody who's not a criminal, and to be and 15 years plus is just, it's unnecessary. And thank you. And that's all I got to say. My spiel, and I'm repetitive. And I'll answer your questions. Thank you.
Thank you. So I'm assuming you weren't placed at in the BHU unit from day one when you got there, or were you? Like, why did you end up getting placed there? Did something happen in the institution?
Well, it was actually a misunderstanding. See, the cops have this thing, the correctional officers here, they have this thing where there's an intercom in my cell, and they talk to me all day about, and I've been talking to them for 5 years now. We've been trying to work together. He's very understanding. And I went and told VHS at Coffee Creek that I hear voices of people talking to me all day and stuff like that. And they took that as schizophrenia. And so they write down schizophrenia. And then they're like, well, he's BHU bound. He needs to be on schizophrenic meds. And they got me on these meds. They got me all zombied out. And so they said, we're going to send him to BHU at OSP because this dude's schizophrenic. And schizophrenic people are they're severely mentally ill. And now I'm classified as severely mentally ill. When I really am bipolar, depressed and autistic. And so it was a misunderstanding. From my understanding, that's what it is. And that's what it is.
And I thought you said during your opening statement, I thought you said that you were schizophrenic. Did I mishear that part?
I'm not actually schizophrenic. What I am, and I've been diagnosed bipolar with paranoia. Bipolar with paranoia. Yes, that was David. David Kitch did that.
So you're saying the voices that you were hearing are through the speaker, and you say that those are the COs that are talking to you. Those are real voices that you're hearing. They're not voices that you're hearing that aren't there. Is that what I'm understanding?
Yeah, they're actual voices they're hearing. They're in a control room. They're actually talking to me and stuff like that. They can hear my thoughts as well. This is the technology that the cops have, and I talk to them out loud, and they can hear my thoughts as well. And we've just been doing a constructive kind of talk thing to just stay on the up and up and stay progressive. And Applegate, Daniel Applegate, are you okay? Are you good? And stuff like. And just in the interest of making a better place, and Daniel Applegate's fine, and he always has been. And so it's just an understanding that they didn't understand. A lone BHS at Coffee Creek who decided that this dude's schizophrenic. So
So what you said that you were on some medications. Are you taking those voluntarily, or are they involuntary?
I'm taking Zoloft voluntarily. They discontinued my psycho meds because I talked to the doctor yesterday and he realized that I don't need it, so they discontinued
Oh,
it. But I'm
what was
still
that? What
taking
medication was that before they discontinued it?
Prolixin, and that's a psychotropic for schizophrenia.
Okay, and they discontinued that yesterday?
Today.
Okay, and how was that being administered?
It was in a pill form.
Okay, and you were taking that every day?
Yeah, I've been taking that since I came back to prison.
Okay. And yesterday you met with Dr. Cunningham and he decided to discontinue you from that.
No, it was no ma'am, it was Dr. Michael Naughton here works here.
Dr.
He's
who?
Dr. Michael Naughton,
Okay,
Naughto, and he's he's a prescriber for medication.
got it. Okay.
Psychiatrist. Yeah.
Okay. And were you on any other, is that the same medication you've been on since you got to Coffee Creek, or have they tried different medications on you?
I've been on various medications for 20 years now. And I was on Lamictal and lithium, but the Lamictal and lithium, some meds after a while, they just cease to continue to work for you. And so I switched over to Zoloft, who my brother told me about, in a BHS. And Zoloft is probably the best medication I've worked on because I've just been happy. I'm not depressed. I exercise. I feel good. I feel productive. I feel like I want to know God and help people and just get my life right. And that's how I feel. And I feel great on Zoloft. And I'm willing to take it.
That's great. That's good news.
And everywhere I go. Thank you.
Okay,
and
that's great.
I believe that's all I need as far as these people trying to figure out what's up with them psychologically, mentally, but they know who Applegate is, and Applegate's going to be just fine. They know that for the most part. It's just people making money off me and the way the system is set up, and a misunderstanding that, like I said, at Coffee Creek, and I'm doing great. I can tell you, I'm doing great. I'm so happy.
What do you think when they start the classes with you? I know you said you don't think that you need them. Do you intend to do the classes though? Do you intend to follow through with them?
Yes, I do. Actually, I do. I'm actually looking forward to it. I asked Dr. Naughton yesterday if they're going to start the classes, and I met with Cunningham yesterday and some woman named Lacey, and they said that I'm going to be starting the classes this week, and they're going to put me in a movie group, and it's a decent program they have here. And I'm sorry, I keep repeating myself. Kelly, if I could call you that.
Yes, please. That's fine.
I just think that this treatment can be done in the community.
Okay.
And when you have a guy whose GPS died, it's not that he doesn't want to do treatment. It's just we don't have that much battery power for this dude to make his way back to the parole's office.
Yeah.
So
I understand that is frustrating. Yeah.
Well, it's not frustrating. It's just stealing my life away from me, and I want to live. And the best track, they got better treatment out there than these people do, because these people don't meet with you very long. They don't meet with you very much, and they're not doctors. They're less than the caseworkers, stuff like that. They went into a community college. Not all these people are licensed doctors and stuff like that. And to be honest, like I said, I'm sorry I keep repeating myself, but it's fine out here. I'll do any treatment in the world. I'll jump through any hoop for the system at this point. Because to be honest with you, they threw me in prison. I'm like, okay, you know what? I'll wander around Portland until I find a political office if I die. And now I have my money. And so now I have a phone. And so now I can never lose an address or nothing. I have $5,000 saved up in SSD money. And now I'm just ready to get right in. You release me today, I'll be at Jackie Jones' office talking about the Lord and being a better person.
Okay.
And I will do all groups and classes. And I look forward to it. And to be honest, this is the only direction I want my life to go.
Well, I'm glad to hear that. I mean, I'm glad to hear you speaking positively about what you plan to do upon release. I do have a question about the medication they had you on for the schizophrenia. I'm wondering, was that a voluntary or involuntary? How were they? You said that one was voluntary as well?
Yeah,
And that was
voluntary.
pill?
Yeah, that
Okay.
was a pill. And yeah, that was just a pill that I take, drink some part of, and I've been taking that for a few months now. And the
Do you
Zoloft
feel
as
like
well.
it's done? What do you feel like the impacts have been for you? Do you notice anything different? Do you feel like anything's improved for you, or have things gotten worse for you?
I honestly think that I've been on Haldol, I've been on PAROLE. I get very sleepy and I sleep a lot and I
Okay.
sleep like a bear. I sleep like 15 hours a day and it makes my body kind of moves around here and there and I can't lay still. And it sucks. And I've been complaining to Dr. Naughton and I have never been on a med that made me want to just like, I don't know what the heck to say to these people to get me off of it. All truth, but this is just horrible because I can't lay still in bed and I'm tired all day. And I fell out of bed and I had to get my thumb x-rayed. And I mean, and I'm telling this Dr. Nutt, it's bordering on inhumane for these people because this dude just doesn't care. And I'm tired of being railroaded by these people. And I will try any medication, but these psychotropic medications, I pretty much got a certified allergy to it, and falling out of bed and getting headaches and throwing up, which I've been telling this dude for months now with these psychotropic meds, not the Zoloft, but the Prolixin and the Haldol they had me on is not good. All I need is Zoloft, and so just give me the Zoloft and I'll be fine. I told him, can you put me on Abilify? Can you put me on Depakote? Can you put me on other medication? He won't try other medication. He's fine with me sleeping all day, banging my head on the floor, and not getting help. And this program here is kind of screwy. And I haven't done starting classes yet, so I can't speak to as to how good they are, but or effective they are. But to be honest with you, I don't need to be rambling for a whole lot. You see how repetitive I am. I'm a little stressed out because my son's mom left me because she doesn't want to be around somebody who raped some other girl who has nothing to do with her 15 years ago. And that's my only freaking problem. And I do drugs and I drink over it. And maybe I need to get some depression. Maybe I need to talk about that. Maybe I need to do what Eminem does, the rapper or musicians, and rap about it and sing about it and talk to people about it. And that's what I will be doing in class. But I really don't need intensive treatment. And if being locked in a cage like a dog is not intensive, I don't know what to tell people. Yeah.
Well, so I have a question for you. So there's some indication in the reports of when you're not taking medications of you saying things about hurting people or killing people or setting things on fire. And I wonder, I mean, do you understand how those statements could alarm people, could make people really nervous and scared?
I understand the logic of it because they're like, logic would tell you, we don't know, and you just explain, we don't know what you're gonna do. Right. Based off the words on your mouth. But I would just like to say, I know me, and I listen to rap music, and I've been around a lot of these people who I've been incarcerated for the most part of 20 years because Jessica Roth's case was so long, and because I set a church on fire when I was a minor and stuff like that, and because of that dispensary thing 5 years ago, I've been locked up a lot, and I've kind of adopted the characteristics of people who just shoot off at the mouth and say things that they don't mean, they don't want to do, they never really get their hands on anything, they don't want to do it, and even the feds, even the Federal Bureau of Investigation who has investigated me said, this dude is just a crybaby. He just needs to smoke some weed and go find his mommy and go home. Just go home, dude, drink a beer and go watch a movie and just be fine, dude, you're fine. And I shoot off at the mouth and I understand the liability. Excuse me, I don't want you to think that I'm being condescending as to what you're saying. I'm saying Dr. Naughton said that about me because I thought of who said that about me when you said that. And I just shoot off at the mouth, just to put it in some, I just shoot off at the mouth, and I understand where you're coming from, but I'm not a liability for rape, murder, setting people on fire, or hurting people. And
So you're saying that you don't have, you're saying you don't have intention behind those words. You're saying that you may say them, but you don't intend on following through. Is that what I'm hearing?
Exactly. And I'm not like this. I haven't been shooting off the mouth like this lately. I haven't. It's true, Applegate. But I would just like to say that it's just when it comes to my comfort level, I just get stupid with my mouth. Not physically, but verbally. If it's too cold in my cell, if the cops have a vent in my cell and the air is blowing and it's cold, or I don't have enough, or I don't know, I don't like the food, or my neighbor's beating on the wall because he just has something where he's aggressive, and people do that in here. They start yelling and screaming at you and talking crazy to you, and I'll just start shooting off at the mouth like they do, and I say things that sound insane. But the cops say you can contact Multnomah County Sheriff's Office. I'm not trying to burn nobody. I'm not mad at Jessica Ross. I don't understand how Jessica Ross could think that 9 years in prison is enough, well, certainly not about to say that's not what I meant to say. What I meant to say is I don't understand how she could think that is necessary. Go hang out. If you were prolonging the inevitable, somebody would get out and do that. I've been out, I haven't done that. To physically separate, and I'm just talking lives killing, Kelly, excuse me, respect man. If you would separate somebody physically from doing bad things, then yes, maybe they need to be somewhere else. They need to move their ass and move their behind. They need to go sit in a cell. Excuse the donkey reference. But this is just shoot off. I mean, I'm just logic. I understand logic where you're coming from, where cops are coming from, where the board's coming from, where Jessica Ross could be coming from if she thinks it, or whatever I was accused of. I read some things on paper, and it's just the cops spit my food while I was here, stuff like that. Oh, come on, and they call me.
Can I ask you a follow-up question?
And I just shoot off in the mouth, and I don't mean these things. And I really respect cops, and I respect Jessica, and I love Jessica, and I love my son's mom. And if you could ask me about, if I could say one more thing, can I say one more thing? One more thing I want to say is this report in here about I punched my son's mom in the face because she didn't let me see my kid. That's not true. It was my son's grandma, my son's mom's mom, who slapped me several times in the face because I wanted to ask her, where's my son's mom? I want to talk to her. Why won't you let me talk to her? I've been in prison for 9 years. I went to go see her in 2020 when I got 2020, and she proceeded to slap me, and I shouldn't have did it, but I hit her in the jaw one time, and I went to jail. And I don't have these tendencies no more to hit people. I haven't hit people in forever. I swear that I'm a different man now, and I've been demonized a little bit. I'm not trying to put sugarcoat on anything, but I've been demonized a bit to where I just, you don't let him see his son. He punches people. He thinks his weed is not there enough. It happens again. She slapped me, Natasha Kramoga, and that old dude was putting his hands in my mother's face, and he even went to court and said I was about to punch his mommy in the face. And people like this, and violence is never the answer. But I am 110%. I'm just sitting here saying, everybody here at the board, just sitting here looking in your face, just telling you that, can we just send me to treatment out there and just treat? Even the cops think so. Multnomah County Sheriff certified. I'm not an angry little dog like that, and I just wanted to speak on that as well, and I'll answer any other questions you have. That's just, I'm not a liability to anybody. If I saw Jessica today, I give her a hug. I give her $1,000 because I have money. I have more money coming because the cops beat me up while I'm in here. I'm just getting beat up by cops, and people are talking stupid to me, and I'm sitting in a dog cage wasting away my life when I'm pushing 40 for not checking in with my parole office. And to be honest, this is not America. This is right. And I'll ask you questions, everything respectfully. And I'm kind of doing this therapeutically, and I know we have an objective here, but I'm glad you listen to everything I say, and I'm being honest with you. And whatever questions else do you have, please.
I appreciate your honesty, and I appreciate you sometimes allowing me to kind of step in and get us back on track, you know, because I know you have a lot you want to say, and we want to hear what you have to say. But I also have some objectives that I want to make sure we accomplish as well. So
Right.
I'm wondering, out of curiosity, you said that you shoot off at the mouth. And I'm wondering how well you think that has worked for you in life, because it seems like you shoot off at the mouth and people get really nervous and scared based on some of the things you talked about, based on the fact that you have hit people before and that you have started fires before, and that, you know, so you have this history of these things, and then you shoot off at the mouth. And I'm wondering how well you think that's serving you.
Well, I would just like to say, in regards to the fire, when I was 15 years old, I set like a Bible on fire, and I stole like some bottle of Tylenol and like another Bible, and I went and did 2 years of that. So I don't really set fires like that. And in regards to hitting people, I didn't hit people, but the old man, he put his hands on my mom's face. It was self-defense, and Natasha, after slapping me 10 times, it was self-defense. Should have called the cops. I was drunk. It was a bad call. So I'm not trying to play that down, but I'm not at the same time. It's not like my go-to. That's what I'm saying. Is I have a history. Yes, I admit it. But I don't want you to think.
And people don't have that context, though, right? Like, they don't have that context, so they don't necessarily know any of that context, right? They just hear the words coming out of your mouth.
Right. Well, they get these police reports, and they hear from these people who might be biased, because I went to a Black Lives Matter protest, and Black Lives Matter everything, and George and stuff like that, and they look at me like a chump. Well, because they just and you know, and I'm really a champ, because I've been. I don't want to, I'm staying objective here, but to be honest with you, I don't even want to start to go into the harassment that I've had by the system, who has beaten me and broken my bones and kidnapped me and turned me into a robot and made it to where they can control my body, woman. Excuse me, Kelly, and respectfully and everything to all y'all. It's the craziest thing you ever heard. But the cops kidnapped me and turned me into a robot to where they can control my body. And I'm not joking. They can move my hands. For 14 months, they shine lights in my face. To where lights in my face. For 9 months, they made sure when I'm laying in bed, they took me out of the bed. Can I do that? And threw me around the bed. I mean, the things that I've been subjected to by the cops, and to not in my case here, to not respond as most people would, or as I shouldn't, is it goes to say something for my person. I have not responded by punching these cops in the face like that a whole lot and stuff like that. And I'm not out here really getting at them like that. And they've harassed me, my vision, physically. It's crazy. It's just crazy. I'm at McDonald's with my mom, and they're sitting there running a rape test and asking if I want to have sex with my mom. Got sexual things they want to look into, but just the stupid stuff that they do in society, and have people get in my face and call me a effing rapist and stuff like that, and just to be confrontational with me. There's no treatment or therapeutic stuff that they've tried to really do for me, a whole lot. Albeit I haven't checked in, I admit that, but there's nothing. The answer for me just being left alone and minding my own business. And the bottom line is, I'm on papers, thank you, Applegate. I'm on parole, and I need to check in. But I just wanted to state a case again that I'm not a go-to guy for punching people in the face. And it's just to get these police reports and it looks terrible. And to be honest, I think you all can see this dude. When you look at this stuff, it's just this dude's been this is 15 years now. I've been locked up for just can I please have my life back? And that's what I'm asking the board.
Can
And
I
this
ask
is
you a
just
question as a follow-up on that? What do you think you need upon release in order to be successful? Like, what are the things that you need in order to not return to custody?
have a good one, Lieutenant. Lieutenant, wait a minute. Have a good one. God bless you. I would like to say that
Did you
what
hear
I
my
need-
question, or do I need to repeat it?
No, I heard your question. I was about to answer
Okay.
you, man. I
Okay.
would say that I want to be maintain my medication, Zoloft. I want
So just the Zoloft.
yeah, I want to see another psychiatrist for Depakote and Zyprexa, or what they want to try me on. I don't need to be treated for psycho drugs because even in the past, I wanted to get high on drugs when I was at the state hospital, and I told them I'm schizophrenic and stuff like that. And so they just write that down. He's schizophrenic, and they don't care if you're sitting there doing fish, shaking all over the place, Applegate, and they just don't care. And I'm not trying to put any damper on what the system needs to do for people who are able. But I am not one, and I really appreciate you asking me, Kelly, what I need out there. I need to be on that for me to succeed because I know. And God knows, and my family knows as well. My mom knows. She's a good person. She is. And she supported me. And she sends me books and Bible literature. I've been writing prison. But I'm sorry. To summarize your question, I just want to say that, and I keep reiterating I should be here. But I'll stay more general. Thank you for hearing me on that. I need to be on medication. I'll do sex offender treatment. I told Jackie Jones, I said, listen, I want to get mental health treatment because I'm stressed out. I showed her a picture on my laptop of my son and his mom, and I said, I'm stressed out, I'm depressed, I keep drinking, I keep smoking. I'm sitting there in your chair about to fall out on Suboxone. Suboxone is what they give you when you're coming down from fentanyl and opiates and stuff like that. And I'm sitting there falling out your chair, and I can't even sit here and stuff like that. And I want to do drug treatment, anger management, and these are all things that they can get you right into in the community at Cascadia in Portland, Oregon, because I've been there before. They will give you your meds. They'll give you a 30-day release. They'll walk you out the door. They give you $25. And I have every single support system in the world for me to succeed. My mother lived out in Troutdale in a 3-story house. My dad bought it and left it to my mom, committed suicide. And it's a huge house, and it's lovely, and it's away from all the crap out there, the drugs out there. Troutdale is beautiful. It's right by the river. I go out to the river. I have a beer. I listen to country music, and it's beautiful. And if I could live with my mom, or I'm willing to go back to these homeless shelters, although sometimes they don't have a bed every night, and you just get locked up. I mean, you'll be on the streets all night. And now I have a phone to where I can find my PO, and maybe she can find me somewhere else. I have money to where I can go to something called the Budget Inn. And so if I got out today, I would say I would be on my medication. I would go to Cascadia, which is psychotherapy, mental health treatment, and I would do all sex offender treatment. Please don't make me watch child porn because I don't like it, and that's sick, and I would be highly offended by anybody who's pushing child porn. Nobody.
Well,
not a
I
risk
would
of
like to.
benefit,
I would like to
but I will
clarify
do
that
sex
with you.
offenses.
I would
will
like
do
to
sex
clarify that with you because
Okay.
I think that that is probably not accurate information that you received from another cellmate. And I hate that you've carried that around with you for so long, anticipating that that is what sex offender treatment is, because that's not what sex offender treatment is. So I would like to relieve some stress that you may have of thinking that that's what you're going to be subjected to, because that is not the normal course of sex offender treatment is having you watch child pornography. So I hope that that helps to alleviate a little bit of concern that you might have. But sometimes guys that you're surrounded with in custody, they aren't the best gauge of, what is actually going to happen in treatment settings.
Well, he was in there for an underage girl, so that's probably what they wanted of him. And now that I think about that, not me, even though Jessica was underage, they know, cops know I'm not a pedophile.
Mm-hmm.
I have no ideation in kids. I don't even add kids on my Facebook. A 16-year-old girl tried to add me and I blocked her because I don't talk to kids.
Well, that's good. That's, no sense in getting yourself in any kind of trouble by interacting with, people that are underage or look like they could be underage, right? So what you mentioned Depakote a couple of times. Is that something that you've taken before that you've been successful with? I feel like you.
Yeah, I'm taking Depakote. I took it at a mental hospital. I've been to a few mental hospitals. I've been to Legacy, Emmanuel, and then I've been to the state hospital. I've been there for 6 months. And just to be honest, and here I go with my speech again. I've taken Depakote, Zyprexa, and stuff like that. But the system doesn't have, when you're incarcerated from prison, and I'll speak for, thank you, Applegate. They have stuff out there. The prison and the state hospital don't have stuff. You go to the state hospital, they'll give you a Nintendo to play video games, you watch TV, you drink coffee, you hang out with the other people who are severely mentally ill. And they didn't meet me with a doctor one single time to talk to about Applegate. What is up with you? What's bothering you? Is it circumstantial? Is it a mental illness we need to treat you with medication? What is your case? How can we manage you? Nobody has done that. The Multnomah County Sheriff's Office has definitely not done that, and nobody's done that. And I would just say that Depakote and bipolar and depression is what Zoloft treats. Depakote would be great for me. They do blood tests, Zyprexa, and maybe going back to lithium, because lithium worked great for me. Kurt Cobain of Nirvana wrote a song about thank you, Applegate, and I could just slide right into Cascadia and they would just have me on those meds. I think Depakote and Zoloft, I would be a winner because all I need is a mood stabilizer. I'm bipolar. Now I'm not a problem. Won't be a problem out there. Promise you that. I promise each and every one. You send me out there, I will not be a problem. I will check in. You won't hear about no violence. You won't hear about no crazy nothing, accusations. But I need medications. I need to talk to somebody where I can just I've gotten better at articulating myself and getting out of my shell, being aware of myself. And that's all I need really. And if they want to put me on GPS treatment and put this ankle bracelet back on my leg because they think I'm a risk, that much of a risk, even though the cops turn me into a robot and they literally supervise me 24 hours a day for 5 years now, and they will continue to get paid. Yes, we will, Applegate. I just need medication, somebody I can chat with and talk to. And to be honest, this record deal I got with Jadakiss and Eminem and stuff like that, people that want to do songs, people in the business that are multimillionaires that think I'm cool enough that I know how to rap, that some white boy from Troutdale knows how to rap. So some white boy from Oregon knows how to rap. It's cool. I'll just slide right into the road of success. And I just think I need Depakote, Zoloft, and somebody to talk to, like I'm talking to you now, and other issues, and I'll be fine.
Okay.
Only up is the only direction I'll go.
I'm curious. You mentioned this a couple of times. You said that you have money now, and I don't know if that's from Social Security. Do you receive Social Security benefits?
Yes, I do.
Okay. And how much do you receive in Social Security?
$983, I think.
Okay. And have you been receiving that for a long time, or did that just get reinstated the last time?
Well, they don't pay me while I'm locked up if I'm locked up for 1 month. But every time I get out, I drop off a piece of paper that says, "Hey, I just got out of jail, I just got out of prison," and then they start it up immediately. So every month I get it, and I've been getting it since September 2019. So for 5 years that I've been out, I've been getting, and it's been stacking up for the last few times I got out, and now I'm to the point where I think at 5,500. I got money to stay at the Budget Inn for $62 a night, where Jackie Jones said that it would be a good place for me. She can come to the hotel and make sure I'm not smoking meth and drinking. I'm not gonna smoke meth, but I'm not, no drug use, nothing. He's not in here with hookers. He's not, just nothing. Is it illegal? Excuse me. She can supervise. They can supervise me all day long.
Okay. So
I don't think the GPS is, excuse me, I'm sorry to cut you off. If I could just say, because I wonder if you're going to evaluate this. whether or not I need a GPS, if you let me out today to be released, and hopefully you do, because I should be out there. I'm a good guy and I want my life back. I'm pushing 40 and I'm small change. I'm small change. I'm not some crazy rapist. You know what I mean? This dude needs sex offender treatment or he's gonna get a razor blade. I'm not that guy. And I think it's unnecessary to put me on a GPS. But all I'm saying to you, and I don't know you lovely ladies personally, but if you think I'm such a risk that I need to be supervised to where I need to be locked up, please just let me out, put a GPS bracelet on me. And if I violate one time, send me to prison for 13 months. I asked for a suspended sentence in this long-term incarceration. And I know I would do great because my mother stands behind me and everybody stands behind me. And the only thing left in that is either I'm going to stay at the budget end for $62 a night, and I can run that up for 6 months, a year. I mean, well, I can run right through treatment. I'll pay for it. It just work perfectly. And or she can let me stay at my mother's house again. She doesn't want me to stay at my mother's house again because I smoke and I drink, and she makes up felonious restraining orders and says I'm doing things I'm not, and kick me. And my mom and Jackie Jones kicked me out of staying at my mom's house in Troutdale through the rules of my parole. Just because we argue verbally, me and my mother, and she doesn't think that's good for me. And I know the road I need, and thank you. And what other questions do you have, please?
I'm wondering how you're going to stay clean in the community, because I mean, it sounds like you don't want to use meth, but you talk about being on Suboxone, trying to come off fentanyl and all that stuff. So that seems like that is probably a problem area for you, right?
Well, no, I don't do, well, I would just like to say I don't do fentanyl. I honestly I like to get high, and I told medical staff in jail and in prison, thank you, Applegate, that I do fentanyl out there, and somehow I deceived them into thinking that I'm coming down from fentanyl. I'm sick because I'm withdrawing from it, and they gave me it. I don't do fentanyl. Every once in a while I smoke meth. I do it maybe a few days out of the year. I haven't done it lately. It's been a while. It's been a long time since I've done that. And I smoke weed and I drink. But I think that with treatment, with appreciating life more, I think with being on the right side meds, I won't want to run to the Mary Jane and the alcohol. I think because in my brain, I'm always thinking, are you good? Do you feel okay? And that only resolution, like I said, me drinking all day and not checking in with my PO and me going to jail because I won't check in. Not crime, not anything. But I think to the point to where if I'm on Depakote, I'm on, you're doing great Applegate, Cyprexa, and I'm on Zoloft, I won't feel like, and I'm talking to people, so I'm not feeling sorry for myself anymore about mother and my son left me, about things that are out of my control, because Jessica and whatever people assume about, I can't control what I thinks about me a lot of times, and I just know I'm a good dude, and I would just say if I could stay at my mom's house in Troutdale and just take psych meds and go right into treatment immediately, and even put the wrist bracelet on me if they think that that's necessary. It's just I don't know why. I don't know why. I don't know why this needs to. I don't know why me sliding right into treatment needs to be prolonged any more than it already has been. And that's the only thing that it's been doing in here, because you sit in a dog cage all day and you work out, and these classes are not very long and they're inadequate. And I hear that people just argue and call each other names all day. That's what these guys are telling me in here. And it's like, well, just send me to somewhere else out here. I haven't been to class yet. Willing to go to class. Won't put my all into class. But I just heard, and this dude's drugging me with Prolixin. He finally discontinued it, but it's just he doesn't care if I sleep all day. And it's just, please don't let me be my own worst enemy, because I get lost and I shoot off at the mouth sometimes, and I should be incarcerated like a dog for 15 plus years now. This thing Jeff Garage has been going on. And I would say that like TSP would be maybe a good place for me to go, because I'll be staying there. You can't leave, but you stay there and you get treatment while you're there. You talk to people and they have a bed you can sleep in and they have people you can talk to and you get mental health treatment. And I would say that TSP, who is willing to take me back in Portland, Oregon, give me something Applegate, that would be a good thing for me. I don't necessarily want to go back to my mom's house because my brother beat me up with a bat.
Okay.
I think TSP or the budget in would be great. And that way I'm free. I have my freedom, but I'm being held to an expectation that your PO comes to see you. When you leave TSP, because it's a building with a locked door, when you leave TSP, you go to get treatment. You go to get a job. I can't work because I'm on SSD. My SSD will start up as soon as I get out. I drop off a piece of paper that says I can still home, and here's $1,000 more dollars. And I think TSP would be great. And I really hope I can leave some resolve. And I'll answer whatever other questions you all have for me. But I feel like this is just prolonging the inevitable and what the system should be about treatment. Thank you, Applegate, of helping people get people's mind right so they can move on to the next guy who really needs these resources and stuff like that and needs to sell like all these murderers and these stupid gang members who I've been telling on all day long. I've been telling on who shot Michael Wolfslow, Del Pyro, who shot these people. Thank you, Applegate. All these people out here. I've been telling the cops everything. Who shot these people? Who killed Andrew Webb from Fat Bitch Killer? Who killed these people from these prison gangs? Who did this stuff through straight crimes? I want you to know that there's this. Yeah, I'm just repeating myself. I'm sorry. I'm gonna cut.
It's okay. I have one more question. I decided to kind of ask all my questions before I check in with my fellow board members. So I have one other area that I wanted to ask you about. And I'm kind of all over the place, so it may not make the most sense, but have you had any kind of disciplinary issues since you've been back in the institution?
I read this thing about how they said I was trying to throw something. I threw garbage out of my cell and they misinterpreted it and said it was something that was not. And they said,
what kind of garbage was it?
It was a milk carton. It was a milk carton.
Did it have anything inside of it?
The milk carton had water in it, and I just threw it. They opened the tray slot, and I was going to throw it off to the side, and they said that it was some kind of riot, and they wrote me up for it, and it was just nothing. It was nothing. They said I'm severely mentally ill, schizophrenic, and whatever. He's fine. Cops know he's fine. Applegate is not a problem here. You can ask these people; they will tell you Applegate at Oregon State Penitentiary. Horseman, not a problem here. Not a problem here. Not a problem.
Okay, so it wasn't. You didn't throw a milk container with urine in it at a CO. It didn't have urine in it.
No, it had water in it, and I wasn't trying to throw it at him. I was just trying to throw it out of my cell and stuff like that. And he started getting trippy on me. He refused to feed me, and he started cussing at me and stuff like that. And he spit my food, and I didn't even respond when he spit my food. I didn't even respond. I wrote a grievance on it. I believe I wrote a grievance on it, Applegate. And he started cussing at me and stuff like that. And I'm telling him, hey, man, that's just water. I'm just, this water. I told him. And even the officer said, hey, man, chill out. It was officer, can't remember his name. And they said, chill out. They said it to the officer, not me. To chill out, like, relax. You know what I mean? Because he's cussing. And he's like, oh, I want to go in there and I'm going to punch him in the face and stuff like that. And it was like, if you took a milk carton and just kind of tossed it out and stuff like that, full of water. And I apologized to whatever officer that was, if that's what it was. And I would also just like to exacerbate the fact that I don't have the issues with law enforcement.
How do you usually get rid of your garbage? What's kind of the protocol for getting rid of garbage? Are you supposed to just throw it out of the cuff port, or how do you normally dispose of it?
That's what they tell us. That's what they tell us here. They open the cup board, just kind of throw it to the side. Then they have an inmate who comes down with a mop, he'll clean it up, he'll put it in the trash can. They don't have like a set time, but when your tray slot opens for you to get like food and stuff like that, you can just toss it to the side. Whatever, you just toss it on the floor. And I was utilizing that process, and it really just got blown out of proportion. There's no charges or there's no charges at the press or anything like that, and nothing like that. And me and Brock are good. That's Brock. Yeah, that guy, Brock. Me and Corporal Brock are good. Have a good day, Corporal Brock, and we're good and stuff like that. And I regret that I actually regret that the staff think that I have a problem with it or something like that out there, because I don't want them to think that. I think these are good people and I don't want to give them trouble. Because I believe they're doing good work and they don't need unnecessary drama. And it was just a lot of flailing my hands all over the place on that. I'm really energetic. While I'm talking to you, not then. But and yeah, it was just a misunderstanding.
Okay. Last question. I'm wondering, you talk about wanting what you want to do when you get out. You want to do alcohol and drug treatment and mental health treatment and take your medications. I'm wondering, what are the things in the past that have kind of gotten in the way of you doing that?
Of getting out?
No, of doing those things when you were in the community before. What are the things that get in the way of that have gotten in the way in the past of you doing alcohol and drug treatment and mental health treatment and SO treatment?
Sex offender treatment hasn't been offered to me in 5 years. In 5 years, it hasn't been offered to me. The only thing they ever wanted me to do is meet up with them and take a drug test. The reason I don't is because, to be honest, I'm just lazy. And I thought that maybe if I piss, if you can say piss out, okay? If I piss dirty for marijuana, they might throw me in jail. And to be honest, if I'm smoking weed just to relax and chill out on the couch all day, who wants to go downtown Portland away from Troutdale? I can catch a max down there. I have money now. I can get down there. But to go to jail, to be locked in there for 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, and then sent back to prison, and they're talking about years in jail for smoking weed, and they wanted to fire President Bill Clinton for smoking weed. And it's just like, this is just ridiculous. And so I understand this is a thing, but I'm not one of those guys that they should UA, even though that might be that just a formality and what they have to do, Applegate. But it's just when I'm not, well, why do we test people when they're on drugs? Because they could be a liability to people's safety in the community, or theft, any kind of crime, and I shouldn't be tested. But I'm willing to get off marijuana. And so it's just me being drunk at home and smoking pipe and not wanting to show up at the PO's office drunk and high on weed and just, I don't know, just trying to ease my way on in there of just maintaining my freedom. And to be honest, I've just been an idiot because there's nothing, I'm sorry, excuse me, there's nothing else I can say, but I've just been an idiot. All I need to do is go downtown and go to treatment, and now I'm in prison because I won't go say, hi, how are you doing? I'm fine, bye, have a good day, with a parole. And I honestly, I got on medication with Zoloft, and now I want to get treatment, and now I want to do better, and now I want to be a multi-million-dollar music artist or rapper. Now I want to do that. Now I want to get off drugs. Medication put me in the right mind to where I feel better, to where I'm not stuck in a slump of wanting to be drunk and high all day. And so I don't have those problems. And because I'll be given Zoloft, and when I get out doing great out, okay, I will have the mental capacity, not that I lack it. I'll feel better about myself, and I'll be doing better mentally to go there and sit down and feel motivated to just get up off the couch and go see your PO, because that's I mean, I'm sitting in here because I didn't see somebody face to face, and so I'm just throwing a lifeline out there for another chance. And all of a sudden, Jackie Jones wanted me to do sex offender treatment when I said I needed psychological treatment because I'm depressed about my ex-girlfriend and the son that I don't have that I have saying is tattooed on my heart. And for some reason, she took it to be sex offender treatment. And if she wants me to do that, I'll do it. I'll do sex offender treatment. I'll do it every day. I'll stay there all day, every day. I'll talk about Jessica as much as I can remember. I will do any kind of treatment they think, except for watching child porn. And thank you for telling me that's not a thing. So I'll do all sex offender treatment, Applegate, and I'll do it all day. I will sleep in the treatment. I'll sleep on the doctor's couch. I will, and I will, and because I don't want to live like this anymore. And to be honest, them sending me to prison has kind of just woke me up. And I'm just like, dude, if you don't put the, and I'm just telling myself, dude, if you don't put the pot down, if you don't put the J down and go and see the PO, you're gonna hang out, and who knows if the system is gonna be lenient and just letting you in and out, in and out, in and out, because now I'm in prison and if what he's talking about 13 months or more, and it's ridiculous. And so I'm in the right mindset now with medication, and I'm motivated to get my life back, because I'm pushing 40. And because I have a check, I can qualify to get my own place. I can to get my own apartment. I can qualify for that. There's President Joe Biden, good president. President Joe Biden just gave us more money for SSD. It went from 8 something to 9 something. I'm going to write him a letter and see if we can bump it up a little more. But I do qualify for Section 8 housing, which I have resources to. I can go from the budget end, or TSP, which is a live-in kind of treatment place, to an apartment in Portland, Oregon, or Troutdale, Gresham area, around there in Fairview, and I'm on the road. Because I have money and I'm on medication, there's no way that I'll fail.
Okay. Well, Mr. Applegate, you have answered all my questions, and you have provided me a lot of information that, so I didn't have to ask questions as well. So I am going to check in, though, with my fellow board members and see if they have any questions for you. So I'm going to check in first with Ms. Cleaver. Did you have any questions for Mr. Applegate? Oh, hold on. Hold on. I'm checking in with Ms. Cleaver first, and then I will turn it over to you, Mr. Applegate, at the end here. Okay. So give us just a little bit more time.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. So I only have a couple of questions, and they're related to the same thing. Okay. So when in January, you had some meetings at Behavioral Health Services. You did some sessions. Do you recall that? Going and talking with somebody?
Yeah, I remember that with Dr.
Okay. So the things that concerned me out of those conversations were the notes that you talked about thinking about ways that you could kill women, and you described yourself or were described as being hypersexual. Is that true? Did you have thoughts and ideas about different ways that you could kill women?
Not.
No?
Absolutely not. I don't have these tendencies. I don't have like some mental calling to it. It doesn't appeal to me mentally, violent, sexually, anything like that. You said kill, not just any kind of violence. Don't mean to put words in your mouth. Kill women. No, I don't want to kill women. I don't want to hurt women. I don't dislike women. I don't disrespect women. I mean, some hooker stole $80 from me, and it's just I have a hypersex. I love sex, but I have consensual sex with grown men and women, and Jackie kind of said that it got in the way of me checking in with her, but that's not true. That's what I was doing. While I was waiting for the meat building to open, I was at the peep show with somebody at 4 o'clock in the morning.
Okay, wait. Hang on. So why do you think that person you were talking with thought that you had thoughts or had been thinking about different ways to kill women? Did you guys talk about that, or?
I would just like to say that the cops have kidnapped me and they've stuck a thought box. The system stuck a technology in my mouth to where they can talk out my mouth. And I certify that I can send it to the board if I was properly checked out and they have talked out of my mouth and said things out of my mouth that I don't want to do. And I have no, I'm PAROLE. I know it's a crazy thing you ever heard, but they've said things out of my mouth to try to make me look bad so that they can lock me up for simple facts that, like, I'm at a Black Lives Matter protest and I'm telling them, like, don't cuss out people and, like, George Floyd shouldn't have died and stuff like that, not doing anything physically like that. Black Lives Matter protest, getting pushed around by cops, getting maced in the face and stuff like that. And they don't like me because of that. and society doesn't like me because of this just us.
Okay.
And I shoot off like a mouse sometimes, and I talk stupid to cops. Not what you're talking about, but I talk stupid to cops. You know, screw you. And I perceive them as aggressive and jerks, and they broke my bones. And I figure if I cuss them out, they'll leave me alone and stuff like that. So cops don't like me, and they've said things out of my mouth that I didn't say, and I certified that somebody else's speech could come out of my mouth and it's true. And if I could get, I have a relative named Audrey who works at the hospital in McMinnville, and she's a doctor. And I'm going to go to the hospital, and when she tests me and she sees that they have some kind of foul box in my mouth, you can ask these cops at DOC. I promise you, I don't know if they'll keep it real and tell you the truth. My name's Oates. Oates says he will. Then they will tell you that this dude is a robot. The Multnomah County Sheriff's Office, East Metro, Multnomah County Detention Center, Officer Jeff Hello Applegate, they will tell you that this dude is a robot. Las Vegas PD, they will tell you we turned this dude into a robot, and they say things out of my mouth. And if ever I said something out of my mouth that I said, I was just like, and I'm not being murky water here. I've said some stupid things, but I have no ideation. I have no tendency. I have no plans. I wish I could give Jessica $1,000 and tell her God bless you. And it's for me to know Jessica Ross is okay, because I know what she's speaking of, because I read the paper. I'm just going right into Jessica Ross.
Can I ask you another question? Do you hire sex workers frequently, or is that something that you do?
No, that was just one time.
One time. Okay.
And that was in the Salem thing that I referenced, and she stole my money, and I called the cops on her. And then because I went to jail, the cops did nothing. They just threw me in jail, and I never got my money. I got a quarter of my money back, and that's about it. Back of $80 for the hotel that I was going to buy for her, and that's just what I do. Consensually, and I'm respectful about it. I'm just trying to be respectful and not doing stuff, but I'm respectful about it. A lot of women want to have sex. I like to have sex. I'm respectful about it. We talk, we have these kind of conversations. I don't push it on people, don't cross boundaries. And it's just one time I've been with a hooker, maybe twice, one time in New York, and one time in Salem I tried to, and that's it. Typically I'm just on Facebook talking to women just casually. I mean, I've had 19 sex partners that are women. It's just something that I do. I'm not preoccupied with having consensual sex with grown women to where it's pulling me away from other people, or where it's pulling me away from things that I should be doing, like checking in with my PO and stuff like that. At 4 a.m, I was at the Peep Show at 122nd. The PO's office is open at 4 a.m. He stole my power cord, he stole my laptop, and now I can't go check in with my PO. And I'm scared to go back because people are pulling guns on me. And that's no lie, that's not an excuse. People are pulling guns on me, chasing me around, stuff like that, saying they're going to kill me. The cops are saying they're going to kill me. The cops are pretending to be Jacqueline Jones and talking crazy to me because they follow me around. And they are putting my visuals to where I can't see people and stuff like that. And they pretend to be Jackie Jones. And the Jackie Jones told me, or pretend Jackie Jones told me, here we go, that she wanted to sell me sex and that she was a whore and she made money. I mean, a sex worker. Respectively, they would think that Jackie Jones, and God bless her, I hold her in high regard. But either her or somebody that was supervising me followed me around and said that Jackie Jones wanted to sell Daniel Applegate sex, and that I should be mad at her and that I should hate her and stuff like that, and try to make me mad at her. And then the cops go and have other people come up to me and go, hey, I'm Jackie Jones' uncle, and pull a gun on me and stuff like this. And all this is true. And the cops just really, I don't believe it was Jackie Jones, but it could be Jackie Jones. Realize y'all on the board, not the FBI. Maybe the police, maybe they'll know more to it than I do. I certify they do. But it's just been run up the ladder. And to be honest, I think 100% it could work out for me in Oregon, but I've been railroaded by the system. And there's just some lawsuits that need to be filed about the cops harassing me and having people pull guns on me and wanting me to like pick up a flower pot and throw it across the street and just cuss people out and go to jail and get kicked out of treatment. And to be honest, I'm on meds and I'm just gonna shut up and not ask people at the homeless shelters, why are you people talking to me all day? Why are the cops talking to me all day? Because I'm under 21st supervision. And when people call me a bitch and this South Park comical juvenile kind of behavior, gangster rap these losers out here in kind of fashion that the cops do to try to piss me off and get me kicked out of shelter. I'm just gonna ignore it, and there's nothing that can hold me back. And I would just like to say that I know I ran on for a minute, but I don't really hang out with hookers. I've wandered around and been drunk and talked to a girl and she told me she was a hooker, and then it went into I was going to get a hotel with her. She told me she was a sex worker. Only mention I'm drunk because I feel predispositioned and want to have consensual sex with her. I'll just be honest, it wasn't Salem. She stole my money and ran off, called the cops on her for robbery. I wasn't going to do nothing to her. I wasn't going to do a thing to that woman physically or anything. Call the cops.
Okay. All right.
So
Well,
you got, I'd just like to say, so, and if you got a guy on paper who
Yeah.
they say wants to hurt women and wants to kill women, whether I said it, the cops said it, Jesus said it, if that was really my tendency, some woman that just robbed me for $80 for a hotel room when I'm homeless, they won't rent me a hotel room because I'm drunk. Nobody, 3 hotels, you can ask the Salem PD. They won't rent in the Marion County Sheriff's Office. And she robbed me for $80 on a live ticket, and I won't even raise a hand to her. Then what kind of guy wants to go around and set them on fire and these crazy? And I understand you want to know what's up with this stuff because you were accused of crazy shit 15 years, crazy stuff 15 years ago, and so you're gonna be like, okay, what's up with this dude? You got an issue with him? But as far as you and me sitting here, Miss Clear, there was an inquiry that you asked me about, and I'm responding in the affirmative that there is no issues with women and violent tendencies whatsoever, and I don't frequently preoccupy myself with hookers, but my will is good. It's not getting in the way of treatment, and that's all I got to say about that.
okay. I actually don't have any other questions for you, so I'm going to see if Ms. Brooks does. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. You've been pretty, you've answered a lot of my questions just as you've been talking. So I really just have a couple of really quick questions. I guess I'm just curious who your main support system is when you're in the community.
My mother is a great person to me because she's driven me to the PO's office. She's given me money. She's given me a place to stay since I've been out of prison. You get into stuff where there's not a bed every night at the shelter. Please be objective, is what I'm trying to do. And it's great. My brother Nathan also, who's an electrical engineer, lives in Albany. My mother lives in Troutdale. They've sent me books while I'm in here. Moral, mental support. They told me about Zoloft. Financially, mentally, emotionally, they've been the most for me. My mother has given me so many chances of when I get out, you have a place to stay, you have a place to stay, you have a place to stay, because I don't burn the bridges that I have with my family. I don't disrespect them. I don't steal from them. These restraining order stuff it's ridiculous. If you wrote a movie off of what was said about it, I would look a whole different way. My mother, and we're done with that. And thank you for hearing me on that. And my mother, I would say my mother is best, and God. I would say my God, because I am a Christian, and the good people, the Billy Graham Association and Chuck Colson Association, who I'm tapping in with, and music. I would say music. Myself and good Christian music, Danny Goki, positive stuff like that. Marriage.
Well, that's great. And I'm really glad to hear that your family is such a positive support and a positive influence for you. I was curious just because we don't have copies of the restraining order that you've mentioned. They're not in our packet of materials. So is that no longer in effect? I was curious because it was mentioned that your mom had obtained a restraining order against you at some point. So is that still in effect?
No, it went to December 2022 to December 2023, and it's since expired since December of last year. So now it's no longer in effect. It was a year-long restraining order, and it's violated. And my mother's told me I'm not getting any more restraining orders.
Okay. So do you keep in touch with her while you're in custody? Is she someone who you speak to regularly, or?
Yeah, we write each other back and forth. I'm gonna start getting on the phone. Hopefully I get out prison today. I hope you let me home. But yeah, we write letters. She said she was gonna come visit me. She sends me books. She sends me Christian material. She sent me these prison ministry people, stuff of people I was talking to, Billy Graham and Chuck Colson, which are good Christian preachers and stuff like that. She's a great moral support. She's 62. She's a widow. And she holds that house down, and she holds a stiff fort. She holds me in line. She's a good woman and a great influence. I'm set financially and mentally with the medication I'm on, and with the money I have, where I can afford my own housing. But so without her, I would do fine. But she definitely. I mean, if I need to go to the PO, she'll drive me there. Jackie Jones doesn't mind if I talk to her. There's no longer a restraining order. She's not a victim in any case at all whatsoever. So everything's good. It's all good there. I'm just saying what it is and what it's not. And she's just whatever. She'll drive me to go get something to eat at 3:00 in the morning from home. She's a great support system. She's talked to me. We talk about God. We go on walks. We want to travel together. Me and my mother want to go to Disney World when I get out. I mean, she's a great support system. Kind of zoned out talking about how great she is, but yeah, she's a great support system, and that's one thing I have. And my brother Nathan as well, who recommended Zoloft to me, and he's just an electrical engineer. He's a rocket scientist, and he's a good guy.
Well, that's really great. And like I said, I just was kind of hoping for a little clarity on the status of that restraining order. So thank you for that. I had some similar questions to Miss Cleaver. She asked most of the questions I had, but I did want to ask just a little bit of follow-up. In looking at those the mental health records from January, I think I know the answer to this, but you described yourself as having a sex addiction with both men and women. And I guess I'm just curious, when someone says sex addiction, I think it could mean a lot of things. So I'm curious what that means to you.
I love to have consensual sex. I like to record myself having sex on camera. I do porn, stuff like that. I really appreciate having sex with grown men and women, and I found that in a big city like Portland, it's accessible to where you can get on social media and find people like that. And it's just that's what I like to do. I want to get married and find a woman that I want to get married to, and I want to get off of multiple sex partners and stuff like that. But I'm kind of making up for my youth and what some people do when they're in their 20s and they go to the bar scene and stuff like that, because I was locked up for all of my 20s and stuff like that. And it's just, I don't know. We meet up and we do our thing and have a good time, and that's how it goes down and stuff like that. But I've not having as much sex as I used to, or preoccupied with it as might have been that might be assumed about me.
Well, I guess the reason that I'm asking is because typically when people say, like, I'm an addict, they're referring to something negative in their life, not, what they would describe as a healthy relationship with something. So I guess I'm curious, do you feel like, I don't know, like you're overly preoccupied with sex, or like it has some negative effect on your life? Or I just want to clarify the use of the term sex addiction, because like I said, to me that generally has a negative connotation.
No, no, I wouldn't, it's just, well, it's just, well, just to be honest, Applegate, it's just, I've been in prison for 15 years and I haven't really been with a woman, in years. And so I've had 3 sex partners that are women since I've been out. 6 of them were men. And I've been turned to the men because they're more preoccupied, they're more preoccupied with sex. And to be honest, I'm trying to make up to for not being with a woman for 15 years. And so I think about sex a lot. And because I exercise a lot and I work out a lot, and my body's in good shape. I think about, I kind of feel like it's a deficiency. And if there's any hint of like me thinking that like sex addiction sounds bad, it's just that I was thinking I get what you're meaning, like it's not a bad thing. Like it's all consensual, it's all on up and up. But it's just that Jackie Jones, my PO from the meat building, who shouldn't even parole me because who shouldn't even revoke me because I've already been revoked. And how can I get revoked twice? And that's not legal. It's all lawsuits on it, I will. But I felt like she was saying in a report she wrote to the board, he's not checking in with me because he's too busy being at the peep show where you meet up with people and you have sex. And I've only been to the peep show once. I'm not a frequent visitor. I met some dude. We drank a beers and we went to the peep show. He said some rape stuff to me. I should probably file a police report about that. He definitely should, Applegate, because he said some weird things to me, and he stole my laptop and stuff like that. And because I was on a GPS bracelet, who followed Applegate, they know that I was at the peep show. And when I was waiting for the meat building to be open another time, I was talking to some girl who was 21 years old, and I told her that she looks good, and I was just kind of being a player and telling her that you know, your boyfriend's both there, and can I get your number and stuff like that. And I told that to Jackie J. And so I felt like she was trying to swing it, like he has such a sex addict that he has such a sex addiction that he won't check in with me, he won't do treatment, he's not reporting, and like, should I, you know what I mean? Like, should I be locked up or something because I have a sex addiction? No, because it's consensual. If it's not in the way, it's not in the way. It's all good. So that's what I was kind of just feeling like is, you know, well, you asked, is it all good? It's all good. It's all good. And as long as it's understood, it's all good and stuff like that. You know what I mean? And
well, like I said, I just was trying to get a sense of your own thoughts on this issue, not what, you know, someone else has labeled you as or said about you. You know, I guess I really just have one other question. And again, looking at those reports from January, the behavioral health reports, that mentions that at the time it sounded like you were having some homicidal thoughts towards certain women in your life. And I guess I'm just curious, is that something that you still are feeling or not, and not currently?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I've tried to contact Jessica so that I can sit there and apologize to her. I've never got the chance to apologize to her other than on social media. She didn't respond on Facebook. Absolutely. I never had, you said still, and I've never had it in the first place. The cops shoot things out of my mouth.
Okay. I'm just looking at I think it's page, well, it's our page 69. I don't know if it's labeled for you, but it's one of the reports from, I think, from January. And it's statements that from a session with BHS, where you mentioned wanting to kill different women and sharing that you thought of different ways of killing them. And things like that. So I just was curious if that was something you're still thinking about.
I think it was like some Eminem lyrics. Have you heard of the rapper Eminem? Eminem lyrics that I was reciting and stuff like that when he talks about stuff like that. And they might have misinterpreted me and thought I was saying it or something like that. I have no idea. I don't want to kill nobody. I don't want to kill nobody. I don't want to do nothing to be a good person. And I understand what you're inquiring. We'll get a lot of want to know something just and it's good and stuff like that. And I don't know tendencies like that whatsoever. And I love Ross and
Okay,
And I never had those. And like I said, I shoot off at the mouth. I don't remember one from dating and stuff like that, but there's no risk at all. I can look you in the eyes and tell all of you at the board today that I promise you there will be no fun with no women. What I mean is trouble. There will be no fun with Jessica Ross. There will be no trouble with her, with anybody in the world. I donate money to people. I want to help people. I want to be a good Christian. I want to start going to church when I get out. And I'm not a risk to anybody. There's no preventative measures that need to be taken to prevent a threat that's just been analyzed and deemed as not credible. Such as locking me up, those type of measures don't need to be or maybe on GPS. Although I will do that because honestly, being on the GPS bracelet and the community is better than sitting there in the dog cage and barking at the moon. I mean, if I have a bad day, I might say something stupid. Say something stupid doesn't reflect intention and ideation. And I appreciate you hearing me on that. Everything's all good with women, Jessica. Nothing at all. And I promise that before y'all, before the Oregon Board of Parole, and before God and stuff like that, everything is all good with women. And I don't want to hurt nobody. I don't. And I'm a changed man since I've been in here. And I don't remember if I raped Jessica. I know I punched Jessica, but I'm very sorry for punching Jessica 15 years ago. And there's just nothing that in the world that would make me want to be that kind of guy or return to any kind of behavior like that. And I don't have those tendencies. And I don't care what and you didn't say this, so I don't want to take you out of context, but I don't care what stats say about recidivism. I don't have recidivism rates, but I will do all treatments and some. If the system wants me to do it, and because I'll throw myself at all treatments, to be honest. I will at everything.
okay. Well, I really appreciate your answers today, Mr. Applegate, and I think those are all my questions. So I'm going to turn it back over to Ms. Kuklinski. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, Mr. Applegate. So the board members, we are done with asking you questions, and you have provided us, we appreciate you being open with us and answering all of our questions today. This is the time of the hearing where we begin to kind of wrap up. So I do want to give you a last opportunity to make any kind of brief statement if you would like to. You certainly don't have to. I will tell you that we have other hearings that we've had today. We are deliberating at a different time, so we are not deliberating right now on the record. But we will, as soon as the decision is made, we will send you written correspondence with the results of that decision. Okay. Do you have any brief statement that you want to make before we close?
Yeah, I would just like to say that if you could just send me home, I would really appreciate that. And just put me into like TSP treatment stuff down there. And if you want to put me on GPS and send me right in the truth, they can get me right in there the same day. And this is really just prolonging the inevitable of me making the wise decision to not be railroaded by the system. And I'm a good guy, and I appreciate and I understand where y'all are coming from in the system and the logic and everything. And I'm a good guy, and this is just unnecessary. I've been incarcerated since May already. It's been like 5 or 6 months, however many months. And I got my mind right, and I'm good. And I would just appreciate if y'all would send me home. And I wouldn't even talk to Officer Oates because he's a sex offender Applegate. And these people are under investigation by the Inspector General for being child molesters here at the Oregon Department of Corrections. I wouldn't talk to them in person. But anyway, and then that's something else. But anyways, as far as anybody could vouch for me, I could vouch for me. And police in Portland could vouch for me for knowing that I'm not trying to do nothing to nobody. And if they don't, they bias. They're talking right. And I would appreciate it and forget what you're talking. And I said what I said. And thank you and have a good day and God bless y'all. And that's really what I have to say. And that's my spiel. And I can honestly look y'all in the face in the Oregon Board of Parole today. And I can say that I'm a good man. I believe in God. And I appreciate y'all for doing good work out there. And that's all I have to say. Thank you. And I would appreciate it if you could deliver it. Is there a time frame of when I will know what the decision is with regards to my freedom and my future?
Yeah, we should deliberate, by the end of this week, and then I will write something up, and then I would imagine within 2 weeks that you would have something. I know that it's stressful, so we don't want you hanging too long. We know that that's really stressful. So I'll get it to you just as quickly as I can, okay?
Yeah, thank you, Ms. Kelly.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for your participation today. We are closing the record, and have a good day. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Have a good day. Yeah, man. James, Florida, man. You ever try that fluorescent? Man, you got one jail now. Daniel Applegate is a good person. Hey, how you doing, sir? Have a good one. Oh, one year, I do. And Tupac was a good person. Rapping ass man. What do they have against Daniel Applegate? To say that he should be a free man today. That's all. Excuse me, sir. Please, sir. Thank you. Thank you. You Vegas, can you just coffee? That would be. We call it car. Was it car? County, Cleveland, and Mississippi. You repeat yourself so many times. Babe, please. Okay. So. Yeah, you gotta be in here. So, no. You know, have a friend named Brittany. It's that's my favorite beer. I'm trying to. Thank you. You got something good, dog. It's good. I'm good. I'm so motivated to like live my life after 35 years. I mean, you just need to get up off the couch. Yeah. So you're talking to yourself. You know what I'm saying? And I see what I see. Nobody wants to do that. There's nothing. Is this what America is about? Don't hold this brother down. Jackie Jones, God bless you all. as a beautiful Christian, a beautiful person. You ain't, so wrong for caring enough to pray. Yeah. Run for president. Excuse me. It's just, so that's it. Sorry. Yeah. Thank you very much. Stu, can we get the fuck out of here, please? Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it. God bless you. Have a good day, Captain. Lieutenant Stern, we're gonna report these child molesting police around here, man, and do good work around here. Glory to kickboxing and going and stuff.
Looks like the guy in the kitchen. Yeah. I think like, what's my house now? Cargo shit. Colonel, call the Colonel. Tell him I said he have a good one. Right. Okay, thank you. We're done here.
Excuse me. Yeah. You ever see me say you got some like coffee for some shit? Take it. And you claim that to show it, get out of prison. I swear to God, they take a kiss for me. Yeah, I want to grab and everything. Cover. Yes. Excuse me, can I get the fuck out of here? Thank you. Hey, officer, you talking to the police, not you. So he's still here. Have a good day. What is it? Excuse me, sir. Hey, man. Hey, yeah. Send that one. That's a good one. That was true. Yeah. According to the message from old man on Facebook. Please. Shit is that phone? Hey, like this little shit, like man, damn. I wonder if these niggas know. They don't know about that. You know, it's like suburban moms, like the great, you know, fine. Shut down. This is information. Usually you can shoot around here. I'm still recording. Yeah, man, this is cool. Man, can I have a future for you? I'm talking English shit. I have my future. I got fuck about nothing. Positivity, peace and love. Peace, love, and Jesus Christ, Corporal. It's pretty good. You want to write check? Write check. You know, write check. Okay. Down with the plan. That's who I am. No, I was just homie your life. I didn't really especially you know, realize it's all in your face. Just lots of mind and shit. Like, I know y'all niggas ain't like y'all niggas, bro, but like y'all niggas shit. I mean, shut the fuck. Go through rejection. That's fucking stupid. Sergeant Bass, Sergeant. Mario Sergeant Bowser. Life is beautiful. And it's fun. It's fun. Disappoint anyone. So I'm trying to make it time. I got grown 6. I mean, I really, yeah, like, it's going to first time. Weird funny Asian fucking yeah. Stop flipping shit. I understand. Those people. I love it. Too late, you here. Too late, you here. If I have that, if I'm looking around and have an accident, Halloween action. They don't even have an officer named Oaks. Oaks Park, nigga. That's down the fucking street. That's where you. It's like champion. Yeah, and no, I think you're curious about that. You like that? You just like the right on you. God, that's cool too. You get in whatever you get, shit like that. Thank you. If we have playing that, playing more, you're showing these big shit like this. Something's always sleeping, changing Christmas. Right. Spitting people's food, refusing to feed them, lying on them and shit, flashing dead lights. I'm stressed. She knows you're sitting there. But you come, so take it like very seriously. Okay. Hey, Applegate's all done with his parole hearing. Thank you. If I can get back to BHU, I appreciate it. Okay, yeah. See, he's got a great body. Okay. Smoking crate. He's about to throw up that page. I'm in there. This one. Here's a- That's where it has to be. So, very good. It's like you shot to 19. Okay. This is weird. The transit thing. Take it out. Thank you. Disney World, man. This nigga wants to get out and go to Disney World, man. This nigga ain't exactly restricted for, you know what I mean, bro? Like, stressing.
All done?
Yeah.
I want to know. We're checking periodically to make sure. So.
Shit. Last job.
I don't know. Sure. I don't have the keys. I do. Yeah, that was a long thing.